Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope all is fantastic with you. Hope you had a great weekend. I know it's Wednesday, but hadn't been on the air since last week. But like I said, hope you guys are having an awesome week thus far. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope the career is going in the direction that you want it to go. And yeah, everything is good. Life is good, and you're doing what you love to do, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters, which leads me to today's topic: why we got into acting. So look at the title. It says, remember to have fun. That's why you became an actor or actress. And what does that mean? That means that we have all this talk, all this jargon about acting being a business, acting being, a strategic game plan. And what tends to happen is it becomes something so serious that we forget about having fun. We forget about the reason why we got into doing it in the first place. And that was because we had a passion for this opportunity to create, to exhibit the ultimate creation of human expression, as one of my mentors used to say. We forget that because we're so caught up in just being a success and getting the job and getting in the room. Like, here's what tends to happen sometimes. And I've seen this happen on a number of occasions, even personally on myself or with myself. We get so gung-ho about meeting this guy, meeting this woman, or meeting this producer, that casting director. And then we finally get in the room and we do a fantastic job. We do a great job. But then all of a sudden, it's just like all the hoopla, all the excitement dies down. And then we're just kind of like, is this it? Is this all there is? Like, I thought, this was going to be something that was like, much more exciting. And it was exciting initially, but then, I feel like what happens is we put so much on becoming a success. We put so much on becoming fulfilled as an actor that we forget to remember why we got into it. We forget to remember how to have fun. We forget to remember how to basically just stay present, and what's interesting is, a lot of self-transformation talk goes hand in hand with acting. And that's why, I started to coach it, because I've done self-transformation for a long time. And I feel like everything I teach in that, actors can use to help their careers to continue to progress. And one of the most important concepts is just understanding that it's not about the end game. It's about the journey. It's about you going to the auditions. Like, how many times have you heard people celebrate auditions? Like, how many times have you heard people get excited about having an auditioning, not necessarily getting a job, but just getting excited and having fun with the process, that you got a chance to get in front of somebody and show them what you could do. Like, so when that element is gone, then what you find is a lot of actors and actresses start to press. And they press because, and more oftentimes than not, it's the individuals around us that are making us feel like, unless we book something, unless we're being paid for something, we're in the wrong business. Once again, speaking from a personal standpoint, I have gone times where I hadn't booked anything, where I hadn't, been in a place to really say I'm a so-called quote unquote successful actor. And regardless of how many credits I had on my IMDb, regardless of how many movies or television shows were playing on TV at the time, in their eyes, I just wasn't a success. So what does this do? Well, this brings about pressure that is oftentimes a bit too much for us to take on. And all we have to remember is that, you know what? not everybody, but a lot of people out there are going to be critics. A lot of people out there are not going to understand the daily process of what we go through to do the things that we do in order to succeed in this business, but also to have fun in it. And a lot of people just won't understand unless they've done it for themselves. And, you just got to go into it realizing that. And if you do, it becomes easier to say, well, you know what? You're entitled to your own opinion. You can think what you want to think. I don't tell you how to do your job, but at the same time, thanks for your advice. And this is just something that our profession, the entertainment industry profession, period, but more so even as an actor. I won't say it's hard, but it's one of those professions that you have to stick to if you're going to have any type of success within it. You got to stick with it. You see people become, business execs, and, you see them become like even lawyers and doctors minus, the time you go to school. But you see people do that, and in a couple of years, they experience sometimes a fair amount of success within it. Whereas with acting, you can go 10 years without really experiencing a big break. I think of Morgan Freeman. And if you don't know Morgan Freeman's story, it's something you should definitely look into, because here's a guy that had just got out of the military, was going to like community college and also working at the community college so he could act. He booked a job on this TV show. I think it's called The Electric Company. And I think it was public, might have been public access television. It was a while ago, but anyway, it was a show that he did, and he was doing kind of like a variety thing. And he was doing different things on that show and like just really enjoying himself. And then he got to a point to where he said that it just became more about collecting a paycheck than it was about being an actor and being fulfilled. And so he decided to leave the electric company. And when I tell you, the man went an insurmountable long period of time to really book his next big gig. I think his next gig didn't come until he was like 44. And that was Street Smarts with Christopher Reeve. And that movie, as great as it was and as great as he played that pimp, he still wasn't recognized for his acting until he did Lean on Me, portraying Joe Clark, and I think he was like 50 years old. But, they ask him about it. They say, so your biggest hit didn't come until you were like 50. What kept you going? What kept you going? And he says that, more importantly, it was a matter of not giving up. That's the most important part. But then he said something that was very interesting. He talked about how being able to have fun with it, being able to know that, I'm doing this because this is what makes my heart sing. This is what I'm passionate about. That is why I didn't decide to go and be a mechanic. I didn't decide to go and be a stockbroker. I didn't decide to go and be a lawyer or a doctor. That's why I stayed into acting. And, he was asked also, well, how did your family feel that way? And then he kind of laughed. He's like, well, me and my first wife are no longer together, but, I don't think that was the case, but I think it was just kind of funny how he interjected that in. But, it just became a situation where sometimes people will never understand the journey, the gold, I like to call it, that you have within your heart for this. And if they can't come to a place where they will try to understand, then you have to rethink the relationship towards them. And that's not anything personal. That's just understanding that you were put on this earth for a reason. And if you have been an actor for more than 5 years, it's likely you've been put on this earth to be an actor in some capacity. And so you need as much support as you possibly can even when it seems like things aren't working out. And so, that is something that we really have to be mindful of. And then getting back to the topic, the title of the day is just remembering to have fun. Like, life is so short in a sense that we can find ultimate ways to stress ourselves out. We can find ways to set ourselves back. We live in a society that tends to look at everything negative and not look at everything positive. Just imagine, just for the day only or the rest of the week, think about how your life would look if you decided to pick the positive aspects out of everything, and see how much better you'll feel on the inside for doing that. And that is something that is so very important, not only as an actor, but as a person, because what this is going to do is bring more happiness, bring more joy into your life, allow you to rise higher in anything you take part in, because at the end of the day, the universe is vibrational, whether you're acting, washing windows, or driving cars, whatever it is. The universe is vibrational, which means the vibration you give to it is the vibration it's going to match. And if your vibration is focused on being grateful, being happy, being excited about life and about opportunities, then you're going to see that match up. But if you're focused on feeling like you never have enough and you can't do this or you can't do that, and you're not feeling capable or worthy, that's what you're going to see mirror back to you. So this is why it is so important for you to just figure out, okay, let me take a step back. How can I have fun with this? How can I have fun? How can I be grateful for what I'm encountering? How can I put myself in a position to always win regardless of what's happening outside of me? And if you can continue to do that, you will have a lot of fun and you will book a lot of jobs, but more importantly, you will enjoy the process. And that is what becomes important. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It has been fantastic, as always. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Good luck on any audition. Best wishes to you in everything you do. And we will chat soon. Thank you so much. Take care.